we're going to take this break. No, actually, we're going to take this break because our next segment. Our next segment is actually still going to be about labor, and we're going straight into the segment right now. We're going to take this very short break. When we come back, we're looking at the new minimum wage and the attendant matters, the other matters arising. What should labor fight for? What should labor do next at this time? Are they just going to go into the corners and just rest and rest on their horses and said, we've won this battle, and then rest for the next 5 years until it is time to review? Or are they going to do something decisive? We're going to look at all of these issues when we come back from this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still on AM Chat. My name is Tomisin, and I'm your host for this morning. I have with me two gentlemen in the studio who've been looking at the front page of the dailies. Going into the first segment of the day, since that's prevalent in the dailies this morning, we're looking at the new minimum wage. What exactly can 30,000 naira do in today's Nigeria? If you buy a bag of rice at 16,000 naira, if you buy yam, 3 tubers of yam at 2,000 naira, maybe 1,500. Or if you buy a carton, well, maybe few pieces of meat, 10 pieces of meat for 1,000 naira, or maybe 800 naira. And you're looking at school fees, you're looking at eggs, your children will eat. What exactly can the new minimum wage labor is fighting for? What exactly can they do into this Nigeria? Come with.
Thank you very much. You see, the 30,000 naira consensus figure as the next national minimum wage is to any right-thinking person a poverty wage. Why it is described as a poverty wage is, placing it vis-a-vis the prevailing economic situation in the country. You can't well agree with me that there is absolutely nothing that 30,000 naira can do for a family of 4 or 6, for example. Now, for a family of 4 to 6, mother, father, 2 children to 4, 30,000 naira a month, that means you are trying to say they can't feed beyond 50, 60 naira per meal a day, one single meal a day. You have not taken into consideration accommodation, you've not taken into consideration transport, which of course is always ever epileptic and shooting forward. Then you have not equally considered some few other things like electricity bills, for example.
Like
even in some instances,
increasing.
The bill coming from PHCN is even higher than the national minimum wage.
Yes.
I can give example
they
of
came
where
from my entire
bills
street and they give out 18,000 naira per house.
How much?
18,000 per month.
That is
my entire street.
That is even very small.
We're even talking about an entire street of about 30 houses. You're looking at each house. The one that is a 3-bedroom and the one that is a 6-bedroom or the one that is a 5-bedroom. They just give 18,000 naira.
I am giving you a scenario whereby 2-bedroom flat apartment is given 20, 25, 30,000 naira.
Yeah, I know it happens
in a month.
Kenya.
So when you look at all this, you certainly will agree with Labour that 30,000 is of course a poverty wage that cannot take anybody home. And I think it is very important we probably understand how 30,000 naira came to be. For those that have been following the struggle right from when we started it, the amount submitted collectively, by the organized labor was 65, coming from 96 and all of that before we now, converge at 65. Now, when we're pushing for 65, the organized private sector approached organized labor and begged very profusely that if we should insist on anything above 30,000 naira, they wouldn't be able to make any profit. So after much consideration, consultations, we agreed, okay, let's stop at 30,000. But the truth of the matter is that 30,000 is never a reasonable take-home pay. Even if you look at it, what is 30,000 naira a month times 12 in a year? That is about 360,000.
Yeah.
Times 35 years. That will give you about 12,600,000.
Let me do a calculation for you.
So that tells you that an average Nigerian worker out there will work all his life
And
for
earn-
35 consecutive years and will earn 12,600,000.
Who wants to do the calculation? 30,000 naira times 12 months times 35 years. That's 12,600,000 naira.
12,600,000.
And a senator hence how
Can you
much a
compare?
month?
You said?
A senator takes home how much a month?
Close to 30 million naira.
Can you imagine? In a month.
In a month.
And
While
a Nigerian worker,
what a Nigerian worker goes home with for
in
a
the
whole
entire
35 years
it's
is
12.6 million.
12.6
That's
million.
calculating at
So
the
we
rate
can
of
begin to
30,000.
agree to the fact that 30,000 is the poverty wage, but we
Yeah.
don't know option,
I totally
so that it doesn't
agree.
appear as if we are too unnecessarily pushful and unpatriotic. But it's so unfortunate that the government is not, of course, doing its bit. In the Senate line, you don't wait until the labor movement jumps into the street and starts doing a luta and all sort of, shouting out there before you do what actually is expected of you to do.
Let's take a break from that. We're talking about what this 30,000 can do, and looking at today's Nigeria, we know it can't do anything. But I'm concerned about this particular thing. Why would a senator earn 3 times
So much
in
at
a
that.
month? No, but labor. My question now is to labor. My grouse is with labor.
Okay.
Exactly.
My grouse is with labor. What are you fighting for?
Exactly, and
Now,
that's
see-
and that is
You're fighting
that
to
is-
increase
and that is essentially
salaries.
and that is essentially my argument earlier on.
You have a
That,
very lucid position.
no, but if
But the
you
fact
look-
of the matter is that labor does not, fight and run after shadows. Now, before we get to this point, we have actually been raising awareness of Nigerian people in the direction of what the political class, are earning, which of course is very, very humongous, so outrageous, very, very high and next to heaven, and compared to what Nigerian worker out there is earning. If you want to engage in this kind of struggle, you have to first of all do a lot of communication, advocacy, and to an extent where you'll be expecting very, very effortless empathy. And we are right at the point now. It is very obvious, even to the deaf and to the blind out there, that the political class are ripping this nation. And it is high time we started the process of reviewing their salary.
But
And beyond
let me ask you a
30,000 naira we
question.
have just agreed upon, another part of our struggle is that government should look at the need to harmonize the salaries of both the public, the civil,
And the
of course the
political
political class.
Exactly, because I know we
And
talked
that
about
certainly
that.
will make politics less attractive. If you look at it now, you will see
That was
that
gonna be my
almost everybody
question.
is getting to become
see,
a killer,
everybody wants
just
to
to become
be
a politician
into
overnight because of the
politics.
of the
It's because
high
it's
net worth
attractive.
associated with it.
It's too attractive.
No, that is the most lucrative venture you can think of.
For God's sake,
But
now.
is it a business or is it a service?
No, it is
In Nigerian
essentially-
democracy, it is
essentially-
business.
It is essentially a business.
It is
and
business.
a big one for that matter.
No,
Yes.
but it is in our own kind of democracy, because that's not the kind of democracy that is practiced elsewhere.
Yes, of
Of course,
course.
yes.
You
In
should
our
not-
democracy, it seems to be too
I
attractive.
know if you look at it, everything is a theater of absurdity.
Of course.
In this country. But if you look at it, the same democracy that people practice over there, that you can see some semblance of development. A democracy that is aimed at developing the people, developing their nation. Here it is a democracy where people will be
Of
looking
self-enrichment,
for opportunity
self-aggrandizement,
to loot and to amass
wealth.
Wealth in a certain insane ways. Because
But
if you
this
look at it,
brings
this
to the mind.
no. If you
What
look
do
at
we
it,
do?
so and that is exactly
We are
what.
getting there.
That is
No,
exactly
but
what
we should actually do.
Tomisin, my point is that is exactly what we are talking about. The labor union in this country is so powerful and influential that they can even hold the National Assembly by the
Awesome.
jugular, because we recall the activities under the Franco Kori in the military, during the military junta. No, the agitation for the revalidation of June 12 mandate, was not only about the workers or the oil workers,
Of course.
campaign or struggle. They were in the trenches with the people, with the CSOs and others. So what happened suddenly? That before the eyes of the labor, we have some certain gang sitting somewhere in a place called National Assembly, and they are sitting and eating the entire patrimony of the people and sharing money among themselves. So tell me, what is the justification? For someone who probably, we have some senators in this country that even if you don't go to that senate for 3 months, nothing will happen.
Did it not just
When Shimaroke was
recently?
around, when Shimaroke was representing Enugu State in that senate, you can count the number of days he sat at plenaries. And that did not stop his allowance, it doesn't stop his wages.
His salaries. And yet
even
the government is talking about no work, no pay.
Constituency project money they get.
That
No,
no
but
work.
the government is talking about no work, no pay.
That
with
no
workers.
work. That no
Yes,
work,
exactly.
No pay.
No
But
work.
what happens with it?
That no
We
work, no
so
pay.
it's because you have a very docile, army of people in this country. You must take that from me. We know of a senators in this Lagos that immediately he got into the National Assembly, his agenda, his aim, his mission was how to become the governor of a neighboring state in Southwest. So he was given a mandate to represent
A community?
a constituency.
But he got there and it was-
he got there, he was totally distracted. And to now make the whole thing worse, he was brought back again and imposed on the same people. And they are clapping for him, shouting that he's the next person or it's the best thing that ever happened.
You have said it. You have said it all.
So now what
back
I'm
to
saying,
the issue of
my
labor.
whole point is that, is it that our people, we can't actually rise through the power of our thumb, especially this Lagos case that I just painted, and people should take position that no, this is an injustice, it can't stand. We can't give you our mandate to represent us, and you abandon mandate for your own selfish political ambition, and 4 years down the line or 3 years down the line, you are coming back to us that you want to represent us again at the
I'm
National
just
Assembly,
wondering.
as if the vote will not count at the ballot.
Well, you have said it all. First of all, the political class is cashing on the docility of the citizenry.
Yes.
We've not been really very, very active enough in demanding for justice. And until Nigerian people get to that level, we may continue the usual way. But apart from that, I quickly want to address this issue of no work, no pay. That's been the slogan of the federal government past tens of years. But there has never been a time they put that leg forward and they succeed in doing it. Rather, we are countering their slogan of no work, no pay, with no salary, no vote. And in this case, now that they have tactically acceded to 30,000 naira poverty wage, so to say, we are moving ahead by, profiling all the governors that are debtors in their states, that are owing workers. We need to know them, and we need to do a lot of profiling on them. If you cannot come to government and ensure the welfare and well-being of your people, of your workers, of the entire people you are governing, then you don't have any business in governance. You don't have any business coming to government. And we are moving to that level. And that level is, if you are not coming to ensure all that which will make life and, of course, livability more pleasurable for the Nigerian people in your domain, for God's sake, you don't have any reason to come to government.
So
and we are going to judge that point.
I'm even happy that Comrade Eson is hinting on this. I think it is high time the labor movement in this country look at the Paris Club reform. The bailout that the federal government
government
under
gave.
the
We
Buhari
talked about
presidency,
it, and
the
you were saying
Buhari
about it.
presidency.
About 2-3 times.
I'm coming, sir.
Yes.
The Buhari presidency released for these governors. So these are the issues.
Before the Paris Fund was actually
And
released,
specifically
To-
for
to-
setting off
salaries.
salaries.
Exactly.
So why can't the labor,
But they
the
didn't do that.
NSC, the labor, instead of castigating Buhari, the federal government, look at the state. At least you
The state
had a
government.
presidency.
It
I'm
is-
coming. You had a government that was compassionate enough
To
look
release some
at it,
extra money.
to intervene over the plight of the workers, which is not necessarily
Responsible
his
for.
own responsibility.
My-
And these
my
governors,
brother.
before our own very eyes, they were diverting these monies to other things other than setting off salaries, and labor movement in this country could not
The
actually
truth of the
shut down
matter-
those
Let's have
truth
a
of the
closing
matter is that,
statement on this matter of the new minimum wage. Let's have a closing statement. You were saying the truth of the matter.
The truth of the matter, as concerned that particular issue, is let me give you a scenario, a kind of hypothesis. Now, I have children that I'm giving money to go, implement certain things for me, and some of them did it, some didn't do it, and I still go ahead to give them money again, and they still didn't do it, and I still go ahead to give them money. Then don't you think there's something wrong with me? If I'm truly in that position of a parent and father, for that matter, I should be able to stand my ground and say, why should I have to send you on an errand, paying you more than one time, and you are still not bringing me results? Then I should have to apply some disciplinary measure in that regard. What I'm trying to say in essence is that before bringing the whole of the blame on labor as the last resort of the Nigerian masses,
this is not even
the
a
truth of the
blame
matter
game.
is that the federal government itself needs to call itself to order and get to review how much it has done to help the governors get out of this indebtedness, and yet they are not using the money to address what the money was intended for. Then something has to be done. I quite agree with you, and it's not as if that labor is not giving attention to that, but one step after the other. Why we are putting the issue of national minimum wage in the front burner is simply because it is clearly and unarguably an issue of the law. It is the creation of the law. We have the instrument existing that every 5 years salaries must be reviewed, whatever happens. Now, the last one was done in 2011. We expected, all things being equal, for a review of that instrument upon the expiration of the one that was put up in 2011, in 2016, but nothing came up. And here we are, 2 years down the line. Can you understand? And I don't think Labour has done anything wrong in actually putting that leg forward.
Definitely.
Because naturally, if minimum wage is fought for and won, it turns around the economy. Because for God's sake, we need to appreciate the truth that our economy as of today and now is more of the one that survives on how much money goes round and how much transactions, economic transactions, the Nigerian people are made. Are able to make within the ambit of the value of the money they have in their pocket. So this is why even the issue of national minimum wage is unarguably very expedient and important. But that does not rub off the fact